Get to the bag TV.
Snitching when something happens. People don't report that you snitching when something happens. We just reported it to have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, and because everybody wants to see somebody taken down a peg if they're pretending to.
He took himself down a peg when he chose to go that way with Rick Ross.
It's not like we hate Ralo, but of course people want to figure out if he told.
I don't know. If Ralo called me right now and said, hey, you got somewhere to place it, I'm going to go do the business. Wack, you think I'm a rat? Yes. I'm proud. I don't give a damn.
So you think him just doing the proffer in general is...
Oh, yeah. It's safe. You read that work, this shit's incredible.
Well, okay.
His attorney, when your attorney says, Judge, my client proffered on many different people from the community, in your proffer, your attorney's in there with you.
But Ralo's excuse to me was that he lied.
Who lied?
That he lied. That when he did the proffer agreement that he sat there and talked a bunch of bullshit.
Check this out.
Which, isn't that like, doesn't that negate the whole proffer?
Let me
Like,
explain
doesn't
something.
that f you over?
No, let me explain them to you. If I go in there and say, third this, third that, third this, third that. Let's
Third is
eliminate.
the person who's the number one.
Let's eliminate all the BS. Whenever you mention another individual name from the street to the police,
Get to the bag TV.
I'm going to exempt a banker. I'm going to exempt the tax guy. I'm going to exempt the dude at the car lot who wanted to sell and just fill some bullshit in there, and they double you like, bro, I never put that in there. That's not the app I signed, right? You got the right to say that, right? But whenever you mention somebody's name from the streets to law enforcement in any shape, form, or fashion, you right. All that, I lied. No, you proper. So you lied on many different people.
Right, which is probably like just as bad, right?
Come on, bro. Like, we ain't trying to hear that, bro.
Is that just as bad?
It's
Yeah, it's the same, right?
the same.
It's really kind of worse.
You can't go in there and listen. My homeboys know, brain dead on life support, or I'm dead. Anything you did while I was here, put it on me. All my, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm lying to tell you everything else to support that. Put it on me to free yourself because they're going to be the ones that's looking out for my people anyway. Right? But if a person is here, living, incarcerated, period, you cannot mention their name to the police. You can't.
Get to the bag TV.
Right?
So if
I had one situation where I mentioned my homeboy's name to the police. Right? I had a situation. I was in my diesel. I was coming through in Baltimore somewhere. I blew something. Put my diesel in the shop, and they tell me it's gonna be a week. I flew in. Right? When I flew in, baby mama picked me up. That's back when I had the purple beans and the off-white Escalade. You remember this story. So I left the Escalade at my homeboy crib. So when I pull up, Escalade taped off. I mean, police everywhere. I don't think nothing of it. I jump out. I kick the chirp, chirp, chirp. They like draw down. Hey, well, this car was used in the commission of a crime. I said, not this car. I parked this car here like 5 days ago. I'm the one who moved the keys. Right? So they like, well, we gonna take it in for investigation, whatever. Let's say it was a murder involved, right? They take it in. They call me 2 days later.
back to your old ways, huh?
No, they call me 2 days later, and they say, I show them my flight, my logbook. They know I'm not nowhere around, right? They said, hey, who all drives the vehicle, right? I said, well, at the time, my wife and my driver. The driver, if I'm a little sleepy, I'm doing some things I shouldn't be doing, he drives me around. Mm-hmm. Well, who's your driver? I said, Deshaun Lucas.
Get to the bag TV.
Right? So I can talk about it now. The homie gone. They said, well, what? They said, okay. They said, yeah, we found this prints all over the car. I said, well, you gonna find this prints all over the car because When I can't drive, when I'm in a situation where I know my license will be in jeopardy, he drives. Right? I get my ass in the passenger seat or the back seat, and he drives. So you're going to find his prints everywhere you're going to find my prints. He said, yeah, we find your prints, her prints, and his prints. Right? But that's the situation where I knew what they was getting at. And in order to avoid them snatching him and asking him, why are your prints on his vehicle? When they called the owner, I let them know these are the people that access it. They said, well, did he have access to this vehicle since you've been gone? I said, no, he didn't. The keys were with me, as you saw. The keys with me. I parked it there and went to the airport, right? And I left it at that. Needless to say, they tried to access the OnStar and the judge, because I hadn't like activated whatever. They wanted me to give them consent to access the OnStar. So when I denied them consent, they said, well, we're going to keep the car for investigation. So I lost the car. I lost 80, 90,000, lost the car. But my homeboy stayed free.
You couldn't get it back.
No, only way I can give it back if I signed consent for it. They act dead. So I wasn't willing to roll the dice. So, I elected to lose the 90. Keep my homeboy free. Because,
You got a heart of gold, my friend.
I didn't even want to ask him. I just, I wasn't going to even run the risk, And I run the risk of giving them, saying, yo, bro, anything went on? Yo, no, I'm not giving you.
Well,
it is what it is, but you can't go in there, oh, yeah, this dude doing that, this dude doing this dude doing that, this dude doing this, and then say, I investigated, and then they really find out what that dude is really doing. So if you mention somebody's name in a proffer, you told.
Get to the bag TV.